Thank you for joining Effortless Attraction. My name is Evelyn McAleer. I'm the author of A Life You Want, Effortless, and The Woman's Journey. I'm a life coach, business mentor, and inspirational speaker. And my greatest value is making a difference in people's lives. So I hope through these podcasts I can make a difference to your life. Thank you for joining in to another Effortless Attraction podcast. Well, this is my first for the beginning of a new year as we see it in the calendar, the 12 months. And this is the first month of those 12 months. I'm here by myself today and I'm looking forward to this year. This has been a topic that has came up for people, where people actually do not like the start of a year. They do not like January. And aren't those conditioned beliefs that we have held on to over the years? There's not much money in January. Everything's spent in December. It's a long month until we get paid again. If you're paid on a monthly basis, the weather could be grey and it's wet. And then we believe, I hate this month. I don't like this month. And remember at a time too where, and possibly we have forgotten and has come back in again, where a lot of people did not like a Monday. I hate Monday. The kids had to start back to school. I need to get uniforms ready, lunches ready, starting back to a job. The thoughts of going back to it after the weekend. And remember when we cast that much distaste or hate towards it, that all those Mondays ceased in the way that we were familiar with whenever we had that wonderful pandemic that set in. So that was removed from us. And I guarantee you, after a period of time, either people were itching to get back. I just want to get back to normal. I want the kids back to school. I want to get back to my work. So I always think remember too in this, where we cast and put our energy to. And everything I know mostly that I speak about is really energy. It's the power of our words. It's when people feel that they're insignificant, that what I say doesn't really matter. But imagine if there's thousands of people saying the exact same thing that you're saying. Imagine that energy, that vibration that is cast out to a certain thing, to January, to a Monday, to whatever it is. And that's just all conditioned beliefs from the past. The Christmas trees are down and I'm thinking, right, what have I to look forward to? Or the overwhelm of another year ahead. So, when we spoke this morning on our group, I actually sat down and done a pie chart. I'm entering my wonderful 50th year. And isn't it amazing the things that we see as days of the week, as months of the year, as our age? And we say, I know I am coming up to living on this earth 50 years. But somewhere I don't feel, because we had a perceived idea. When I was 20, 50 was so over the hill, so old. Now that I'm getting to that age, I feel I'm in the prime of my life here. But I sat down this morning and done up a pie chart, divided it into quarters. If the average lifespan of a woman, of a female, is 84, this is just average, then I can quarter that off, what I done on the first quarter, second. Now I've gone past the halfway stage and I'm in the third quarter of that. And I related it to how many more passports. And it's not the doom and gloom to see how much life I have left, but what I wish to create in that life. Instead of putting off, now's not the right time. How do we ever know when now's the right time? What are we waiting on? And I do believe it's just our thoughts, our conditioned belief. I will put every obstacle in the way and I'll create it by my beliefs of the fear of not starting something, of not doing something, of not shifting something, of not being something. I will create so many blocks through my subconscious. I'll put in that there's a wedding coming up this year, can't afford. I'll put up that I had an injury this year, now is not the right time. We will create those things to our subconscious belief. I just watched a little video there, Joe Dispenza, and I love that there's scientific evidence as well as spiritual. There's the spiritualism, which is a feeling of energy. And I know people like proof, show me, and then I'll believe. And he spoke about the thought and the feeling. That the thought generates that, the feeling pulls it back into us. And when I share that with people, a person says, I totally believe that. But the person that said, I totally believe that, was the person that also said that they cannot be alone with their thoughts. They like to keep busy. So if I believe that that is true, that my thoughts that I put out there hold power, even though I don't know how it's going to be created. But if I get into that feeling that it's already happened, if I feel as though that wish is fulfilled, there is no other choice but it to happen. So if I truly believe that, then why contradict that by saying I cannot be alone with my thoughts? I need to keep busy. So there's many things, and I sit down and question and analyse or look in, and I'm curious. I'm really curious because it doesn't balance, it doesn't compute, it doesn't equal the other. If I truly believe that my thoughts are creating my reality, if I believe that if I can get myself into that space and place of feeling that it's already happened, then there's this thing that perhaps is beyond my control, that certain events must happen in my life in order for that to take place. Then I must be at peace to sit with my thoughts if I know I'm in control of them. So we need to be mindful as well, really, what our actions are and what we say we believe. If I truly believe that, and we go down and we say this self-improvement route, or I believe in God, or I believe in the universal divine energy, or I believe in energy, I believe in these things. I believe it's true, and I know that these things. And then the question is for yourself, but why then would I choose to come out with words like, I hate January, I hate a Monday. I don't, low vibrational words. Is my belief that solid that I'm so unaware of the words that are leaving my mouth? I'm so unaware of my actions. So every day is a learning day. And as I say, there's nothing that will sway me off the belief that it is our thoughts, that it is our words, and that it is our actions. And it's that feeling as though the wish is already fulfilled. And 100%, if we can bring ourselves to a place of peace in ourselves, now it doesn't mean that it's every day of the week, but knowing I'm out of kilter here, I'm not at peace, that I have to bring myself back to that we surrender, and those things will come at the right time when I'm not wanting or needing. That's when they'll all fall into place. But I need to create that along that journey. And when we spoke about these quarters or these segments of life that we're entering into, what is the lifestyle that I would like to create? And for most people, I'm quite sure in all areas of our life, money is the big thing. And we believe if I create more money, if I generate more money, then I can have this. And certainly our lifestyles change according to what our income is. But then do we believe that that's going to create a feeling? When we went over to Spain and we were sitting one day with our solicitor, and a gentleman just happened to walk in, and he says, I need to get speaking to you. And the guy says, look, I'm sitting with someone here. Can I ask what it's about? And he said, divorce. The solicitor said the amount and the percentage of people that come in there seeking divorce because they held a belief that if marriage wasn't going that great, if a relationship wasn't that great in a certain country, that it was maybe the sun's fault, maybe as in the SUN, the weather, or lack of sun, it's too much work, it's things, and let's have a change, let's make a change. And they believe then when we move to a different country where I work less, where there's more sunshine, things will be better. But he said the percentage of people that happens to where the relationship breaks down. And the reason being is that That's waiting on that when then, that outside situation that will improve my life. And if we cannot be that when there is lack of sun, if we cannot be that when there's lack of money, when we cannot be that, the other end is not going to bring it to you. But what it will do, if you can bring yourself to that place when we see what's absent, when it does come in, it's even more sweeter. But I'm not reliant on that for my peace to be generated. It really is all about our energy. You are the life. You. It's you that is creating your reality. And I had a phone conversation with someone there yesterday. And again, the belief is if I could generate more business, if I could be more creative in my business. And that's where they felt that the issue lay. And not knowing this person, just having the conversation, when we become astute and hear words, hear a repetition of certain words that people are saying, and perhaps at that present time at work that a staff member or someone had left their business, they had stolen product, they had broken the trust. In saying that and giving that information, I know and we know by energy, this is not the first time this has happened. It may be a different experience of an employee breaking your trust and leaving you feeling in pain, but this is a repeat pattern. This has happened perhaps in a relationship. This has happened perhaps at school. This has happened when you were growing up. It's a pattern that we keep repeating in life. And we think, how can I break that cycle? It's if we say to someone, show me your life and I'll know what's going on inside you. And yes, someone could have a fine house, they could have 10 cars. I think, isn't that wonderful? But get to know the person, listen to the person. And yes, of course, we can speak however we wish, we can say certain words to people. But when we get down to the truth of it all and really listen to people, we know that certain things are repeat patterns in our life. And when we become aware of that there's things that I need to change, there's a belief, there's that thought that I need to change, I need to start creating different feelings because I'm still drawing the same thing back into my life. I'm drawing people back into my life that are breaking the trust. I am putting my trust in people, but how come people keep letting me down? And that's because it's a learnt thing from the past that you're still carrying and still creating. And it's amazing when we take a look at life, and people wear their life sometimes on their face as well. You can tell by people's body posture. You can tell if they have joy in their life. You can tell if they're worn down. You can tell if there's a thing, that energy, without even speaking to people. And there's people that, when we say the mask that we wear, I can present myself, but inside I can feel extremely lonely. Inside, I can feel extremely sad. So sometimes it's not so obvious. But I do know that for my life, and I will speak hand on heart, that I live my word. I have many lessons to learn, just like everyone else. But I do know, and it's like, test your product before you tell other people about it. If you're selling coffee, have you tried and tested this coffee? Can you honestly put your hand on your heart and say, this is a beautiful coffee, this is a wonderful coffee? The pharmaceutical company that you work for, the tablets that you're selling, have you tried and tested them before you tell and really believe, this works? I've tried it, it works for me, this is a great thing. Have I tried and tested these things before I genuinely can put my hand on my heart and say, this is real? This is good for you. This will enhance and create and make your life. So I try and test my own product. And I didn't invent this. I've learnt it, but it felt right. And I've taken small steps at it. And I've written about it. And I'll always continue to speak about it. To say to people, it's you. If you could only, if something, there's that life, there's that thing in you that awakens. Sometimes it lies dead and it lies dormant, and then something comes along. You might be hearing the same positivity for 20 odd years, and then one day somebody steps up and comes along and says the same thing, and you're like, now I get it. because it was the time for you to get it. It is your thoughts. And the best thoughts are the ones that I have no idea how. I have no idea how, but I'm going to act as though the wish is fulfilled. Now, are there people coming to me for their business mentorship, and perhaps their goal, their dream, their vision, what they want for that? I wish to generate €1,000 a week. I wish to generate €10,000 a month. Can you be the end result of that? What is that feeling? What will you do when you generate that? What is the feeling that is to be received from that? And then when you generate the 10,000, then what next? How can I be the end result? How can I step into that place of feeling what that feels like to receive? Now, I know why people say this is what I want to generate, because a lot of those people have invested thousands of pounds into their skills, their business, so they know they have given it. So I can receive that back. It's that belief, but it's to know. It's to people. It's the lifestyle. It's the feeling. It's that waking up of a morning, and either you stretch yourself out in the bed and you love the space and place you have for yourself. Is that you turn round either if the person's beside you in the bed and love being with that person. It's that getting up with ease. I have time. I have time for me this morning. I have time to enjoy, if you take breakfast or whatever. I have time to go outside and breathe the fresh air. I have time to see what is around me. I have time to speak with people. I have time to love the work that I do. What's the lifestyle? What is it that you wish to create? I have time now at this wonderful time of my life to be able to share it with family and friends, that I can slow down, that we can, create more happiness for others. Those are the things that I suppose at different stages of our lives that our thinking, our thoughts change. And we, at the end of the day, anything that we're wishing to create in our life, we're associating it with a feeling, perhaps a feeling we've never encountered before, so it's very alien. If you've never really been in a loving relationship, whether you've not fully loved the other person, or you've never felt fully loved, so how do I create that feeling if I've never experienced it? So it's all in the imagination, really, isn't it? We'll know that by, I suppose, looking at others and thinking, what a special relationship. What a lovely couple to be in the presence of. That's what I would love for myself. I would love that effortless and ease, that openness, even in their silence, just that being. That's how I receive feelings. If I've never had it before in my life, I be in the presence of those that I feel. I can feel their energy. I can feel their peace. I feel their contentment. If I cannot generate that for myself. So that's another thing, I suppose, if we're stepping into this year. Who am I surrounding myself with? And it's that feeling that you've been carrying with you that has created in your life, that has drew people to you. Perhaps people with similar stories. Perhaps people with just similar backgrounds, with similar ailments, with similar tragedies, with that. So if you wish for things to change, you have to be the change. It's you. And it's an everyday, and it's one step in front of the other. And it is, I believe, for me, I know, and for others, investing into myself. And it's in the time when I think, shit, I've very little money there. And I do remember there was a particular time and thinking, cranky, everything is shut down now. And that was the time I actually invested into myself. I went completely the opposite way around, rather than fear. For let fear not be in my decision making. If fear is to hold me back, if lack is to hold me back, go against the grain. So I shall leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that January is a month for you, or February, or March, or April. It's just a word. And the word will have as much meaning as you give it. And a wise man once said, the word water will not make you wet. It's not the word. It's the association that you have with the word. It's the feeling that that word gives you. And there's words that we hear and the words just feel dirty, feel wrong, feel sinful. And there's words that we love to hear, the association that we have with those. So just remember January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December are only words. It has as much meaning and power as you give it. So if your choice is a Monday, to hate a Monday, if your choice is a January, to hate a January, if your choice is whatever, to hate it, that's your choice. But also remember, by making that choice and sending those words out, January ain't going to love you back. There must be the return. That feeling must generate. And I guarantee you'll not only feel it in January, you'll feel it in February, you'll feel it in March, because that feeling is there. By my feeling, I draw it back in. By my thought, I send it out. My thought, I hate. My feeling, the same. It feels less not motivated, tired, lethargic, uninspired, restless. I have to draw that back into me, because that's what law of attraction is. That's what law of vibration is. That's what law of oneness is. You're making the choices, you're making the decisions. So how about today, let's decide on, and when they talk about gratitude, can I see blessings? Can I see blessings? Can I see blessings? Go and find the blessings. By seeing it, and we take it for granted. I'm so blessed to have running water. Okay. I've said the words. Do I actually feel it? And it's as simple as running a tap, feeling, going from cold water, if your hands are cold, to feeling warm water, the blessings of warm water. The blessings of cold water to be able to drink. When you're thirsty and the next time you take a drink of water, really feel that water. Really feel the blessings. And by your feelings alone, you must generate and bring back to you more blessings. So I should leave it at that. I will have a wonderful guest on with me next week. And I want to wish everyone a wonderful new year ahead. I'll not say what year it is, because you never know. In 5 years' time, somebody might be listening to this. And I might even listen back on it myself. And thank you so much for the past year, for each and every person that has contributed and helped in my life, and the big changes that are happening this year also. I want to thank every person that has paid to be a subscriber on this channel. I spoke to a woman last week, and I know people have a perceived idea on Evelyn. I've created all of these things, and I do that, and I put my heart and soul into everything. But I said to her the significance, and people may not realise that, the significance of someone subscribing to this channel for $1.99 a month. Now, they might think $1.99 is not a big, or it makes no difference. But by someone doing that for me, that I mattered enough, that what I do contributes enough, and I don't require it in order to feel that, but it's such an acknowledgement, and so it does matter, and it does contribute. And all them we 199s, I tell you what, it's like all our one voices, all our one thoughts, they soon add up. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you feel that you would like to contribute in any way, and it really does support and helps me to take time to put out podcasts, to advertise, and that commodity of time as well, I would greatly appreciate in this wonderful year if you'd like to subscribe for $1.99. It's a monthly basis, and you'll find the link in the description of this podcast. Thank you so, so much for the difference that you make in my life. God bless. Thank you for being here, and I hope through this podcast that I have made a difference to your day. And if there's anything that you would like to hear in future shows, please reach out and let me know. It's evelyn@evelynmcaleer.com, and I want to wish you peace within yourself. Thank you.